What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Degenerate Jay. Jay, we are here today to talk about a game that means a lot to both of us and a game that we are both very, very much looking forward to on the PS5, which is Demon's Souls. And we're going to be predicting the review scores for this game. So if you guys have kind of watched this, not even just a series I do, because Jay's been in the last 3 of them, if you guys know kind of the format, it's more like a preview event. It's our last kind of second thoughts, the pros, the cons of the game, where we think about the game leading into it. But we're also going to talk about what the critics will say, what the review score for that would be, what maybe some of the, again, the kind of headlines will say on this game. Again, this is a game that I think is going to surprise, to be quite honest with you, I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. It's a launch day game, only on PS5. But before we get into that, let me again welcome Jay. Make sure if you guys are not already subscribed to him, all that stuff is in the description below. His main channel, second channel, I'll leave it as a pinned comment as well. Jay, thank you for the trio of review score predictions.
Hey man, thanks for having me here. It's a nice, phasing into me just pushing you out of your own channel and taking over.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
I mean, this is the easiest way to kick me out. Is what do you have to do? You always have to invade from within. Attacking never works, but invading from within works.
Hostile takeover.
Yeah, exactly. So Demon's Souls, look, I've played the game. Jay's played the game. Very, very good game. We can look back at history, and when Jay and I have done that for the other review score predictions. The original got an 89. That's very high, to be quite honest with you. I thought it would have gotten a lower score. I don't even think I was perusing the internet back in those days, but an 89, very, very high. The Dark Souls franchise, even Bloodborne, you can count Bloodborne into that, have always done very, mid 8s, I guess, at the absolute lowest, but mainly high 8s, even low 9s. Some of the Dark Souls games even got like 91s, 92s. So this is now again, this is a remake. This is taking what worked and breathing new life into it, but while also respecting, where they've come from. We've talked about Demon's Souls both before on Jay's channel and also here in a little recap thing. Jay, I'm super, super excited for this game. We've talked about even off screen. Miles is the big ticket item, right? I don't think that's unfair to say. But for me, and I think even for you, going into the PS5, I think Demon's Souls is the first game I'm, gonna put in. And honestly, it's because this is gonna be the thing that can actually push the PS5. No other way of playing this. It's not on PS4. It's not on PC. Although they got confused themselves, Sony, if it was gonna be on PC. But it's only on PS5. So what are your thoughts on this game? Looking into it releasing soon.
I am very confused as to how the original got an 89, as much as I love it because of how badly it ran. So that's my first thing that kind of surprised me, because I love Demon's Souls, but wow, did that thing have problems with frame rate and with some other stuff like that. So I think that already, if we're looking at how well that did and this cleaning up all those issues with pushing forward, I think this is already probably going to do better than that, just from looking at it from the outside in without having played it yet. I am very happy with the graphical style to it. It looks very clean, very smooth. I love what they're doing with it. I think this is the game I am most excited for that I can think of actually in the next year or two that I even know of. I'm more excited for this than Cyberpunk. I'm more excited for this than Miles. This game is very special to me. And I really can't wait to play it. I don't even know what to add to that about looking at it from the outside in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this is, and even from me, and I've said it before on this channel, this is a game franchise, and franchises in the Souls games, Sekiro, Bloodborne, or Sekiro. I always say it wrong, and I always actually switch it up, but I'm always wrong anyway, based off the internet. But this is a game that I love to death. It was one of the very first PS3 games I ever played, and now I got the PS3 much later after it came out, but this was a game, I think I got it on like the PlayStation Hits, the red tag at the top. So I'm terrible at these games. I've talked about it before, even with Jay. I'm awful. I do not plan on beating this game. I mean, when you think about Miles, if I'm going to get Sackboy, stuff like this, like, I intend on beating it. I mean, actually, when you buy any game, that's probably a plan you have in your head. I don't intend on beating Demon's Souls. To be honest with you, I intend on playing it for 5, 10, 15 hours and probably rage quitting. I will not hurt the DualSense because that thing should be treated as a newborn child, and I will do that. But this game is going to be special. I mean, and talking about the DualSense is going to elevate this thing. The graphics and what the PS5 can do is going to elevate this thing. And when talking about a review score, I think it's important because, again, we talked about this depending on whenever you guys saw the Miles video. There is a gloss that comes with games on next gen. And even actually different than Miles is Demon Souls is only, again, Miles is also on PS4. We don't really know how are people going to judge Miles, because are you going to say, well, do we judge it as the PS4 version, or do we go for the PS5, but then you're leaving one or the other behind? For Demon Souls, there's no, there's no debate. It's just PS5, and that's good, and it's also bad, because you can have that affect short term where it's going to be incredible, but maybe you look at it 3-4 years down the line, other games have come out, even maybe Bluepoint maybe they make a Resistance, which, by the way, Bluepoint, if you're listening, do it, Resistance remake, and we look back and we say, yeah, you know what, Demon Souls is kind of elevated by the gloss of next gen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if there's a game that can kind of overcome that, it is this, because again, Bluepoint, Shadow of the Colossus, the Uncharted collection, I mean, they've created some of the greatest remasters and then going into remakes on the planet. And so, in my opinion, even though they do all this different stuff, and it's like, how can they actually respect and understand all of these different genres, you know what I mean? Which is odd, because when you remake a game, you normally would like to see the spirit of it, realize. How can you go from Uncharted to, again, Shadow of the Colossus to Demon Souls, where it's like, Demon Souls is a very different game, but they've done it. They've done it good, for as long as I can remember, and I see no reason why they won't be able to pull this one off. So I'll leave it at that. Maybe let Jay gush about this game for a couple minutes, and then we'll do our review score predictions.
So there are two things that if I see them on a remake or remaster or spiritual successor, if I see either of these two phrases, I'm in. One of them is Bluepoint. The other one is Toys for Bob, with Spyro and some stuff like that.
Yep.
And I think they made Crash 4.
They made Crash 4, yeah.
Yeah, so if I see those names on a remake, remaster, or spiritual successor, I'm just in, first off. I've never played a bad Bluepoint Studios game in terms of what they've done. Even the old God of War remasters for PS3, while they're not as comprehensive as later remasters they did, are incredible. This is a fantastic company to give really anything like this to. Same thing for Toys for Bob. But I am so excited to see what this does on next-gen software. I'm excited that people will be able to play this. This is the game, honestly, Alex, that has come up the most in conversation with Souls players that I've had, where it's like, I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne, but I never got to play Demon Souls. It'll be a conversation like that with somebody else.
Oh, right.
Because they didn't have the PS3, and that was the only place this ever existed. I think that after the Xbox 360 PS3 generation, there was a very big change in tone in the gaming market, where a lot of Xbox people went to PlayStation 4 because of the botched launch of Xbox One. Whether you love Xbox One and have it now, I have an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro, love them both. But the whole Connect required, online internet only, all that stuff that they were pushing, a lot of people were like, okay, see ya. And so I think a lot of people were able to jump in at the beginning of PS4 and play Bloodborne. But that didn't really happen much with the PS3.
Right.
A lot of people went to the 360. So I think it's going to be amazing to see people playing through this for the first time. There are some things that I hope are better than the original. Honestly, I hope the performance is better. So far, it looks like it is. But they could just be showing off the best performing areas. I don't know. I also really hope that the character creator is better, because it was awful in the original. And even though you wear your armor most of the time, you want to be able to make your characters unique. I would say starting with Dark Souls 2, they started doing a better job with that. So it would only make sense to have it be, I don't know, really the best character creator they've done so far at this point. I think that's a fair expectation. And I would really like to see a little bit, at least, of the cut content from the original Demon Souls. There's been a lot of rumors that is coming, but there was an entire cut area or two from the original game and some weapons and other stuff. I think that we should see that back in the full version. I think that's something Bluepoint has done a good job with, even with Shadow of the Colossus, of adding in some little things. Even though they didn't go in and add full new Colossi or whatever, they did go in and add some little features and stuff like that to increase both quality of life and give it replay value. So Bluepoint is great at doing that, and I hope that they were able to do that as well for this game.
Yep, absolutely. So I want to be, and when you were talking, I'm picturing, honestly, when you were talking, I was picturing the game. I was picturing having just the greatest time with this game. And honestly, I want to be very, very bold with this review score prediction. So again, The original Demon Souls got an 89. I'm taking into account the PS5 and how that could maybe help it. I'm taking into account Blue Point and the fact that there are the kings at their job. I will go so far to even give myself just 2 points to work with here, and I will say 91 or a 92. I will not accept 93. I will not accept 90. It's 91 or 92. I think it's possible. I think this is a game to not bag on Miles or anything. I really do feel like this is a game that can get higher scores, especially in games of different genres, don't even really mean all that much. In fact, review scores in general, especially to me, don't mean anything. But Demon Souls, I really do feel like has the potential to get in that low 9. The conversation, I think I even made a video about this a few weeks ago. Could it be the best remake ever? What does it have to compete with? Well, people look at like Link's Awakening is a good one. People look to Final Fantasy VII. People look to Resident Evil 2 is one that I found that a lot of people said is their favorite. Could we get into the conversation where Demon Souls is just, again, I mean, even if you're not a fan, I get it. Because if you're not a fan of Demon Souls, this game is not going to sell you on it. But if it does the original justice and it also brings it up to speed, not even up to speed in 2020, but up to speed in 2020 with the PS5, I mean, can you beat it? I'm not saying it's going to be, and honestly, I don't expect this to be my game of the year. I'm more into like storytelling games. I'm more into games that don't make me throw my controller out a window. This game doesn't really stand a chance in that way, but I'm excited. This is a game, this and like Astro's Playroom, like I've even told Jay, these are games that maybe people wouldn't expect me to play as the very first game, but these are the games I'm looking at as this is going to be a benchmark for the PS5 for however long, probably honestly past Horizon, because Horizon's also going to be on PS4. I wouldn't even look to that. I would look to like God of War maybe as the next one. So benchmark, again, the gloss of the PS5, doing it justice. Could it be bad? I mean, I'm not going to, say it couldn't be bad. I mean, that would be pretty heartbreaking, but I definitely think, that's obviously possible. But I'll say 91 or 92. Jay, your turn.
So here's the thing I'm going to say. If there is no new content, really, if the world tendency is pretty much the same as it was, because world tendency, I don't know if you remember this, Alex, was a problem where essentially if you were playing online, people could do different actions by killing NPCs or doing really anything, and it would sway the world tendency of the server you were in, which would also sway in certain ways some things you had access to. You could only avoid that by playing it offline and kind of gaming the system on your own over multiple playthroughs. It was very difficult to do. If they don't fix any of that stuff, I expect it to fall around where you're at. I would say, again, 89 or 90. If we're just going with 2, I would say it would hit the original or maybe slightly higher. But if it fixes those things, if it is a true modernization of this game and remake, and it is able to introduce that better character creator, some better movement, along with the cut content, I would go so far as to say I could see this at a 94 or 95 if it added those things. Without those, though, and I'm not sure if they will all be in there, I would hit between 89 and 90 again.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited having these talks, and that's why we do part of the reason I do these review score predictions is just to kind of get us, if we're excited. If we're not excited for the game, then maybe we're having a different kind of tone to our talk. But this can get people very, very excited. So guys, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed here. Make sure you guys check out Jay's stuff. I assume he's going to be doing Demon Souls stuff when that game comes out. I of course will be doing Demon Souls stuff when the game. We're both, I think, hoping our PS5s, again, those massive, massive consoles arrive on time. Hopefully, we can all cross our fingers. Let us know in the comments below what your review score predictions for this game are. Again, check out Jay's stuff. And Jay, thank you again so much for being on this video.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always a fun time. I look forward to doing more.
More of these kind of review score predictions for pretty much anything that stands out to me coming to you guys very, very soon. And we will see you all on the next video.